Hi, Speak Volunteers. So many of you have asked about, oh, how do I deal with separation anxiety? What can I do for my pup? This is a lot to type out, so I kind of wanted to make a quick video to talk about some of this stuff. Daphne is one of our dogs. She was a Speak dog, foster failure, and she had a little bit of separation anxiety. So we're going to kind of work with her a little bit. Sorry, you also hear my parrot in the background talking and whistling. So the very first thing you guys need to make sure you're doing when you're working with your dog on separation anxiety, is obviously use that crate. It's a great tool. You know, first starting of crate training. So Daphne's command is 3 fingers for when she needs to go into the crate. And she's going to expect to get something. So let's say now we have a Kong prep. She's crate trained. She goes into the crate just fine. You've already worked past that. Now you need to deal with leaving with them the crate. One thing I do is I make sure that, you know, they have that Kong, and I don't make eye contact with them anymore. So I'm just going to do that. She's got a big Kong or something, and I'm going to close that door. I don't even make eye contact, and I'm leaving. You know, I'm not going to look back, you know, and give any signals. I'm just leaving like, you know what, this is just a normal part of my day of leaving. That'll help her to not be anxious. When we make eye contact with our dogs, that actually fuels them. It gets them excited. It's a tool used for, oh, you must want something. So now they get a little anxious while they're in their crate. So she's wondering why she's in her crate without something. She almost always has something in that crate. Kong, maybe it. The other thing I want you to do is, I just opened that crate, she gets very excited over it. Daphne is very much an excited dog when she comes out of that crate, even if I wasn't, as you can tell, I didn't leave the house or even leave her. So one thing to do is when I open that crate, I'm also going to pretty much ignore her. We're working on jumping, so once she gets into a sit right away, she gets a treat. So if she goes into that crate, right there, you know, she'll have her Kong. I'm going to be gone for the day. I just close it up and I'm leaving, and that's it. When I get home, I'm just going to go like this. I give her the sign to be able to come out. And I ignore her, and she still has this behavior, actually. But your dogs will help them a lot with that anxiety, that separation of when you come home, it shouldn't be a big deal. So Daphne gets put into a sit because she's a big jumper. But that was a big thing for our other dogs. Axel's great with it. He'll go get excited, he'll go get toys or something. He actually tends to ignore us a lot of times when we come home because we ignore him. So I know it seems like tough love to want to be like, oh, I'm home, let me cuddle you and play with you. But don't. Give them that time to, hey, you need to relax. This is a normal part of our routine. To just go in the crate and be nonchalant and close the door. I don't baby her. If your dog can hear, don't talk baby talk at this time. It's got to be natural as opening a kitchen cabinet. So good. So I would just go on, and okay, I'm just going to continue. I'm going to ignore her. When she calms down, I'm going to give her some reward. I don't touch her. I don't pet her because I need her to be calm. The other thing so that's starting on opening and closing the doors for a dog with separation anxiety. Now for things to do while we're in there. One thing we've talked about is obviously Kongs. I keep all different size Kongs that we have in our house because I want to be able to do different things with them. So this one might be kind of a shorter time frame where I'm going to be gone, and it kind of works their way up. The really big ones can actually fit a little over their cup of diet in it. And so sometimes that's another thing I'll do is I'll do their whole meal. When I make sure they go to the bathroom, they've peed, they've pooped. So I'm going to give them their whole diet in here for their morning. So they have to work at it. Different things that can be done with the Kongs, I will soak their diet in just salt-free, sodium-free broth. And then I'll put it in there so it can freeze and harden. Put it in the freezer, and then, hey, we're in a hurry in the mornings. They can go out, they can do their business, and we give them their food, their morning meal, breakfast in there. You can do that a lot, and actually what will happen is your dog will start to look forward when you leave because that's when they get fed. So that's something you can do over and over is just give them their AM breakfast at that time. Puppies can be a little bit harder because we all know what goes in usually comes right back out as a puppy. But it's something you can be aware of to where maybe you do that at that time, then you leave for a little while, and then come back and then let them do their business. So they're not in there for maybe too terribly long before they have to go to the bathroom. Different Kongs can do different things. I also have some information, and I'll take a picture of this and just post it online, of how to stuff a Kong so that you can make it last longer. You know, freezing obviously is a great tool to use, but it's not for you. But different ingredients to put in there to make it rewarding for the dog to be in the crate the entire time. They pretty much say, you know, if you have somebody that now has got severe separation anxiety, say I had that Great Dane Zen who was with us for a while, that was a process. You know, that was very much you know, all we would do is, I might have a rewarding toy in there. He did not care though when we left. It could be filled with steak. If we were leaving, he was going crazy. So we had to definitely build up. So, and this was tedious. I had family members coming over on days I was at work to help work with him on it. So that, I mean, I needed him to be on the fast track to getting crate trained if we wanted him to get adopted. So all we did was put him in the crate. Oh, sorry. Toss it. And Daphne has some separation anxiety. So we do work on this once in a while. And again, I'm not making eye contact with her. And then that's when I would go right back. She's sitting there. She's not barking. She's actually waiting for dinner right now. So she's really kind of anxious ready for that. And that's what it was. And then I kind of worked on to, I'd move out of that side for 1 second. And then I came right back. And I literally had a stopwatch with me to where I was working up for seconds. You know, a minute was huge for him to stay calm. I didn't care if he didn't lie down. I just expected him to be quiet and relaxed. He could whine a little. I still rewarded that. I didn't want him to get into panic mode. And that's because I know he wasn't thinking if he was in panic mode. So I allowed that for Zen. I allowed the whining a little bit. He wasn't much of a barker, but he would kind of go crazy and then start chewing on the crate, you know, he would cause his gums to bleed if I let him do that. And that's all it was. It was just constant treats, walking away, you know, out of sight, out of the corner, and just turning around and coming right back. So that's kind of working around the crate. I also leave the Kongs 4 times when they're in the crate. They get really good stuff only in the crate. They don't have access to the stuff. I'll leave empty Kongs out, but I don't fill a Kong and just give it to them randomly, because I want them to be, hey, when it's filled, they can smell that. Actually, a lot of the dogs, Axel's great, as soon as they see a filled Kong, they actually will run into their crate and just sit there and wait to do that. So that's another thing that we became able to do to kind of help with that separation anxiety when it comes to crating. I'm going to do another live video because there's other things that help with separation anxiety that are around, that go around outside of the crate. So it'll be a big help to see. It's actually, your separation anxiety towards a dog is a lot more than just, hey, being able to leave the crate. It's kind of what your behavior is outside of other areas of the house that you might be doing or reinforcing and not even being aware that you're reinforcing that separation anxiety. Okay, I hope this helps.